All right, next up to bat, we're going to do a little unboxing because I got some new thread colors, and I have not opened this box yet. No idea what's in here. Let's hope it's not a bag of live spiders. And we'll just jump in here and see what came in our latest order. I will tell you, I did just order needles, and it came in a little box about like this, and I sent a picture to my friend, and she said that's not nearly as impressive as I thought for the amount of money in needles that was. And then I opened the box, and you use at least one needle per quilt on the long arm. These are long arm needles. This is 600 long arm needles, and I can hold it with one hand, and it's not that impressive. That was my needle order. And I'm so excited because I had ordered some needles from a retailer, and they didn't have the exact selection that I wanted, and I thought I was getting a needle that was sort of interchangeable for my system. And the answer is kind of, but not really. So I was disappointed, and I'm not able to use those needles the way I thought. Okay, so I got some silicone spray and some Alba 5 lubricant. This is to lubricate the machine, and this is a release agent. I'm going to try this as a thread conditioning spray. So this is Sprayway silicone spray. We will test that and allow everything to sort of slip on through the thread path a little more easily. Super white. This is a new color. Purple rose. Kind of matches my shirt, actually. It's not really purple, it's not really rose, it's purple rose. This is quite beautiful, and I can see a lot of quilts coming through my shop that could benefit from this color. And then similar, but a little bit darker, is this maroon. So if you have a maroon quilt with like a print and you don't want it to be too dark when you go across the printed part, this would be a good sort of a dilution of maroon, because when you have mixed color fabric and you're trying to quilt that area with a single color of thread, you want to sort of err towards maybe more medium and maybe more light. You don't want to match the darkest thread in an area, because it's going to look crazy when you cross over those lighter areas. So this is maroon. I do live in Mississippi, and we do see Mississippi State quilts, so you kind of have to have maroon fabric in your arsenal. You can also get away in a maroon with a warm medium brown. It's not too orangey. Ooh, tea berry. Also kind of matches my shirt. My shirt is sort of between this purple rose and this tea berry. That's really pretty. Purple, but a little bit on the warm side. You know, purples can be very cool, but they can have a little bit more of a pinky warmness to them. So, cork. All right, this is a new color, and I wasn't sure. I have a lot of these colors that are warm, tawny, tannish colors. This one does not have a lot of orange in it, which is nice. Some of them lean towards rust, which is when you need a orangey hued brown, they're fantastic. But when you have a cooler brown, this is leaning more towards like a grayish, like a cooler. Sometimes those light neutrals in a cool tone are hard to find. Like if you look at off-whites and creams and your linen and your bone and those colors that are like your close to white but not, a lot of those colors lean towards warm. And if you have a cool fabric that's very pale, you don't have as much selection. You have baby blue and white. And even the grays, it's hard to find a cool gray that's really desaturated and light and getting in that almost white category. And you use so much of those colors that are almost white. There's a yellow, there's a decent selection of greens that are very, very desaturated and light, but your grays and your cool browns harder to find. We all know I love Vilene, and I've become a huge fan of this roll. It's 29 by 10 yards. And when you have large t-shirts and you're trying to quickly stabilize the back of those t-shirts, this is the roll to do. I was using the smaller rolls. I liked the tacky for a long time, and I was using that tacky small roll. It's less than 12 inches. So yeah, it's a great product, and the peel and stick is very fast. But if you're trying to do a single black that does a big decal on a shirt, you're gonna have to do 2 strips to cover that whole decal, and then that starts to be time consuming. So this, even though you have to use spray base to stick it on, you roll it out, it covers the entire shirt, and you're done. So this has become a time saver for me, even though it's not peel and stick. And then there are less issues with, sometimes you can gum a needle up a little bit with that peel and stick, and you get less using spray based because you control the amount of sticky that you put on there, and you put literally just enough, a very, very small amount. We all know how much I love cheap snips. I always order cheap snips in my order, and I work my way through them, and then eventually I'll catch up to my supply of cheap snips, I guess. All right, this is a new thread color, Key Lime. It's pale. It's a little more acidic and vibrant than some of the softer, bluer, mintier colors. It's not teal, but nice and light. Key Lime. That's, woo, that's beautiful. Okay, this is Yellow Whisper. And this is sort of between your linens and your creams and your yellows. Yellow's already fairly desaturated color to begin with. And then this is even more desaturated. There's a lot of springtime quilts this would be beautiful on. And a lot of quilts in the antique style, this would be beautiful in the background, that use more of a natural muslin that has a little more of the pigment in it. Ooh. Sunshine. That's almost kind of egg yolky. When you start not using one thread color across the whole quilt, and then you start choosing thread colors, and then you find out that you can never have enough thread colors, and every time you think you have all the thread colors, then you find you need more thread colors. And the weird thing is, I'll buy a thread color, and like the next quilt that comes in the door will need it. Am I psychic? All right, so this is Sunshine, kind of egg yolky. I like this. This Yellow Whisper, I think is going to be really useful, and I'm glad I bought it. But there are a lot of colors sort of close to this with warm yellowy, close to white. If you are pinching pennies and you can't afford every thread color in the rainbow, there's probably several colors close to this that you could get away with. I really love this Key Lime. Is that it? That's it. Thank you, Have and Dash. Woo! These ones, this was accidental, but these kind of make a set. Look, they kind of match my shirt, and they kind of make a set. So this was tea berry, purple rose, and maroon. Okay, thank you so much for joining Longarming by Jaclyn. This time around the holidays, I do not show my customer quilts, and I don't post a lot of content about that because most of them are gifts and most of them are a surprise. So maybe in the spring, things will be a little bit calmed down in the shop, and the gifts will have been given, so it's no longer a spoiler to my customers. So yeah. Have a nice day. Bye.